You all know this, but I'll say it over and over. I will wait to press that button again until I can feel that enough of you have come up from the ground of your deep meditation so that it doesn't jar anybody. Greetings, beloved children. We feel so entitled on this evening, so honored to be the face of your company. It truly is an honor, to represent the collective that you are. And it is an honor that we do not take lightly. We take it with a great deal of respect and courtesy, for we understand and we know that you have vulnerably trusted us, your group consciousness, your Zarina, your oneness. You have trusted us with all of the elements of your being, the light and the dark, the emotional and the mathematical, the logical and the irrational, the musical and the earthly, all the elements of your being. Every Thursday evening, you come together and you offer up to the collective the all that you are. It means a great deal to us that you share with us in the way that you do. We are honored to be the face of your collective. We have been listening throughout the day and preparing your channel for how she can be a loving witness, an absorbent sponge, if you will, bringing in the collective of energy that she knows she is herself entitled to do. And we have been working with her during the day on the theme of death and dying. And so we were so well pleased and delighted, dear Cecilia, when you came in and announced that you were working on your memorial. What a beautiful way to affirm what we have been thinking about all day long. Before we say anything else, we would like to invite our first guest forward who would like to speak to you on the nature of death from a unique perspective. Somebody that you know quite well, somebody who loves you well and has visited this consciousness many, many times. We step aside so that the beloved Master Saint Germain may come forward. And as he does so, please give him your love and your light. Well, good evenings, graduates. Yes, that is what I call you. You are all master teachers. You must remember that on this evening. And I am simply your divine equivalent. I am somebody who is a master teacher alongside with you. I've been warming myself up, if you will, to speak to you on the nature and the plausibility, along with all the different infinite possibilities that come with death and with dying from the unique perspective of my journey. And as many of you know, I spent many, many of your Earth centuries and cycles sort of avoiding physical death, if you will, sidestepping that issue. Every time it would come around, I would say, not today. No, I don't think so. No, that's not in my plan. was looking at death in a very different way. I had determined to myself that I would find out how to live to the fullest and die in such a way that it would be just like breathing. Inhale, I'm living. Exhale, I'm dying. Inhale, I'm living. Exhale, I'm dying. I determined that if I really understood what death is, not a cessation of life, but a continuation of a life process, an evolution of a life process, that if I could really understand it in my physical body, then I would have mastered the art of living as well as the art of dying. So, what I learned in all that period of time when I kept regenerating myself and reappearing here and there and everywhere. My, you look so well. My, you don't look as though you've aged a bit. My, Germaine, you look like the same fellow you were 100 years ago. Yes, that was the sort of thing I used to hear quite often. Every time I did, I would think to myself, but they don't know, they don't really understand that I have been dying continuously, dying to all sorts of misbeliefs, dying to all sorts of falsehoods, dying to all kind of limiting beliefs over and over and over, repeatedly. And I'm not afraid or ashamed to say to you, to share with you, my dear graduates, my dear master teachers, that it was often painful. Yes, it was often painful. The avenue that I chose to learn about what death really is forced me to confront my deepest shadows, my deepest wounds, over and over and over again. I had to die so many times. I had to die over and over and over while staying in my physical body. That was the assignment that I gave myself. And what, you might ask, what was the reprieve? What was it that helped me to rise up day after day in a body that I programmed to survive centuries of abuse, centuries of eating the wrong thing or drinking the wrong thing or stepping on a hot coal or breaking an arm or breaking a leg or hurting myself in some way or another or surviving some kind of horrible virus or plague. How did I resolve to keep going, even though this practice that I assigned to myself was really quite hard? In a nutshell, I will say mercy. The quality of mercy is what enabled me to face each moment with courage, to let go of any fear or trepidation I had about what was I doing in this living experiment where I was asking myself to stay in a physical body way beyond what most human beings do. It was the quality of mercy. It was the ability to feel that death itself is merciful. Death is kind. Death is loving. Death does not judge. And so with every exhale, I began to notice how kind, how loving, how merciful death is, and that it allowed me to let go of former versions of myself and former beliefs that were limiting. and former recriminations and former ways of putting myself in a prison cell or beating myself up for this, that, and the other. Death was my angel over and over and over again. I survived my limiting belief system by believing in the power of death to release me from that which was limiting me and holding me back over and over and over again. And this was the way I encouraged my cells to reprogram themselves. I gave my cells in my body a time and a place in which they could all experience dying as a form of fantastic liberation. Here is your chance, I would say to the cells in my liver. Here is your opportunity to lay down that prison cell. Let it go. Let go the shell of your old being and move now, transport yourself over into this next habituation. Yes, I was very much like a proton moving beautifully through space and time. I bring this forward to you because I am hopeful, oh, my dear graduate students, and you all are, you know, some of you are postgraduates, some of you are doctorates, but you're all master teachers. Let's just be clear. I'm not the only master teacher here. You all are master teachers as well. And you are beautiful experts in the art of dying and dying well so that you may have life and have it more abundantly, as your beautiful master teacher is fond of saying. And so, beloveds, I learned to die and die and die over and over and over again while still in my physical body in such a way that I provided myself with the freedom of knowing that I was never restricted by my past choices. I finally came to see there is no such thing as karma for me. There is no such thing as cause and effect for me. I have chosen to die to those laws and rise as the law of love itself. I know that you all know this. Many of you have been thinking along these lines and chewing upon these thoughts for many thousands of years. Sometimes I had met you deep in the monasteries and we had these conversations. 600 years ago, we had these conversations. And here we are again, having the same conversation again, my dear beloveds. Trust your dying process. Trust that you are able to die to that which no longer serves you and put to rest that which you can no longer inhabit. Trust the part of you that is an old wineskin and is ready to be let go of so that your new wine may come and breathe a life of its own. Trust this process, beloveds. You will need to trust this process over and over and over the coming years as you watch as independent and loving observers, as you watch your country go through many death processes. Be not afraid. Be not afraid, dear ones. Your country will survive. Your beloved democracy will survive. And there will come many, many opportunities to view death as a life-giving process. I say this not to alarm you. I say this to reassure you that over the coming years, you will see many environments fall, many facilities fall, many institutions fall and die. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. As they die, they are giving room for the next stage of democracy to take hold. I'm a great believer in your country, you know. I was a part of that beautiful intellectual revolution that gave birth to your revolution. And so I've got skin in the game, if you will, here. I have loving contact with those you call your founding fathers. We must include the founding mothers as well. But I am in contact with that original tribe, and we are discussing over and over the ways and means of dying gracefully so that this country may be reborn as a new nation founded on the truth, which is everlasting, that you are all dignified with the right to enjoy happiness and freedom. So be not afraid, beloveds. I am hearing from group consciousness, your group souls arena, that it is my time to let go of the steering wheel and remove myself into the background, which I'm more than happy to do. I can see the next driver of the bus, so to speak, is coming forward. Let me give your group consciousness the beautiful honor of introducing her. I will withdraw. Bless you all. You know I love you so much. You know that I'm your biggest fan. You've got to know that. I absolutely adore all of you. Be not afraid, dear ones, and be willing to die so that you might live. Bless you. I withdraw. And this is your Group Souls Arena, and we want to thank our beloved Master Saint Germain for speaking so eloquently on the subject of death. We have another beloved who is standing here very patiently, and we withdraw so that our beloved Master Teacher Kuan Yin may come forward. Do give her your love and your light. Oh, my sweet beloveds, I'm so happy to be here with you. I would like to speak further with you on the occasion of death and dying. Of course, I first want to give the Master Saint Germain my applause, and using some of your vocabulary, say chapeau, tip my hat to him. That was so brilliantly done. Thank you, my brother. You paved the way for me, and I'm so appreciative. Beloveds, I would like to speak to you further on the occasion of death and dying, and what it means to be in grief, and what it means to be in the state of bereavement, which is certainly a part of the death and the dying process. Many of you at this point in your lives are already well acquainted with grief. You know how it feels to lose a home or a spouse, a loved one, a business. You are well acquainted with what happens when the winds of destruction come and pick your house up and take it away from you. You are all well acquainted with grief, and so we do not need to teach you or instruct you on grief, but we would like to take another step forward and speak to you about bereavement as another stage of grief. Bereavement, as I understand it, in my own cloak, my own mantle, my own energetic consciousness, is the next level of grief in which we are willing to feel grief not only for ourselves, but for everyone and everything. Let me give you an example. I was there when the dinosaurs understood that they truly were dying. I was there for that death process, and I helped many a dinosaur find their way back into the loving home of life. I was a midwife for many of these dinosaurs as they lay dying. It was my job at that time to help them all, to bring loving hospice to them, and to assure them that death was a beautiful, beautiful graduation. Part of my job during that time was not only to assist them as they lost their mothers or their fathers or their brothers or sisters, not only to assist them with their personal grief, but then take them into that next level of bereavement in which they needed help understanding grief on a collective level, grief in knowing that their species was dying. And so bereavement became a mission a very long time ago, before any of you had even begun to incarnate, you know. We were working on the issue of bereavement with the dinosaurs. And what the dinosaurs quickly learned as they began to approach their death as a species, they quickly learned to appreciate the knowing that they were leaving behind on the earth a trail of amazing evolution, that many birds and many mammals would follow in their footsteps and would learn from their cycle of life, that their cycle of life would not be forgotten, that many butterflies would come, would rise from the ashes of their decomposing bodies. They were able to see this clearly and concisely, and they became champions of what it means to grieve on a collective basis, to grieve not just for ourselves, but to grieve for a way of life, to grieve for an epic, to grieve for a journey itself. And what I learned about bereavement and bereavement on the collective, I really owe to my brothers and sisters, the dinosaurs, for they taught me so much. One of the things that they taught me was to be proud as you die. What I bore witness to watching many of them die is that they died standing up. They died with their gaze still on the horizon. They died with an integrity in their dying, a willingness to stand as long as they possibly could. Because it was believed among the dinosaurs that if we die standing up, we are bearing loving witness, merciful witness to all that we have been, so that the succeeding generations can stand in our bodies and stand in our evolution. And now I would have you know that the dinosaurs are very happy and proud of what they were able to deliver to all succeeding generations. They are your mothers, of course. They have breathed life into your physical cavities, and they are proud of the way in which they died so that you might be born. Now, what does this mean for you, human beings? It doesn't mean that human beings will be wiped out. Not anytime soon. No, my dear beloveds, no. For some of you, I know there is a wish that perhaps if human beings simply died out, the earth would be a better place. It's not that easy. And that, I would say, is a lazy way of thinking. There is a better way to die, a better way to live as human beings on this planet. And it has to do with assuming a bereavement, assuming a gospel of bereavement that is compassionate, that is merciful, that allows you to feel with a whole and holy compassion the lives of every single thing and every single human, of every single dolphin, of every single plant form, to stand tall in your bereavement and to feel all of it down to the very roots of your being. This collective mourning is a way to stand tall in your collective dying so that you might collectively be born again. Our master Saint Germain brought in a beautiful observation that it was mercy that helped him to face his dying moment after moment. And it is the collective spirit of mercy that helps us all today. And I am right here with you, you know. Just because I am a master teacher, that does not mean that I am not entangled in the earth process. I most certainly am. I am just as entangled in this process of being a human as all of you are. I am right there with you. And what we are doing, beloveds, is breathing into the possibility that when we die together as one, we immediately are reborn together as one. And I assure you that this is what is happening. Some of you are seeing butterflies. I noticed that. Thank you for that. How beautiful. Yes, indeed, that is right. The butterfly is emerging. And how does it emerge from the chrysalis? What is it that brings it forth? Mercy. Mercy. What is mercy, beloveds? What is that quality of mercy? You have heard it say by your beautiful Shakespearean bard that it is not strained, that it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. It is not a bargaining chip. It is not a quid pro quo. It is not transactional. Mercy is as abundant as grace, and it flows from every loving heart. Mercy is the ability that every living form has to give itself the ability to die and be reborn immediately. Mercy is life everlasting. Mercy is inexhaustible. Mercy is proof that you are always dying and always being reborn. Mercy is the validation your soul seeks as it dies and is reborn right away. Mercy is the proof that you give yourselves that you are fully human and fully divine. Be merciful with yourselves. Give yourselves room to die and give yourselves room to be born. Be merciful with yourselves. Give yourselves time to forget what you once were so that you can give yourself time to remember what you always are. Be merciful with yourselves. Be always merciful with yourselves. Impress upon yourselves the quality of mercy and feel it moving in you as a gentle rain from the heaven of your being. And as you are merciful with yourselves, and as you give yourselves a merciful dying and a merciful rebirth, of course, you are immediately giving the same benefit of mercy to everyone and everything on this planet. You are now allowing everyone and everything to die to their former selves and to be reborn to that beautiful, beautiful new that is happening within you and as you right now. I am often called the goddess of compassion, and I do like that appellation, but it is a title that I share with every single human being, every single one of you, and not just humans, every tree and every rock, every coyote, every dolphin, every whale, every zygote, every plant, every aspect of life is a goddess of compassion. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You are all willing surveyors of the ability to die mercifully and be reborn mercifully, all at the same time. See yourselves right now as gods and goddesses of mercy. Know that you are merciful with yourself. Know that you give yourself the length and the breadth and the height and the depth of your everlasting divine being. Know that you have the ability to give to yourselves all that you can see. Know that you have the ability to die consciously with every in-breath and every exhale. Know that you are masters of dying and masters of living. Know that when you die, you do so that you may have life more abundantly. Know that when you are forgetful, you do so that you might remember yourself more abundantly. Know that when you struggle to rise in the morning, that you do so that you may feel yourself as a force of gravity itself. Know that for every single fabric of your being, there is an equal and opposite fabric of being that works with you over and over and over again until that astonishing day, that moment where you are convinced that you are the epitome of life and death itself, and that you are always dying and always living, and there is a constant flow back and forth, back and forth. Feel this now. I invite you to know that as you look inside the canvas of your being, you can see and feel many beautiful violin strings, like strings of a violin. These are the strings of all of your lifetimes in which you have lived and died. These are the strings of every single inhale and exhale. These strings carry the meter, the rhythm of every single heartbeat from now until eternity. Feel into your heartstrings. Feel into the music of your being. And now intentionally take one etheric finger and pluck a heartstring. And hear the note that now is moving through your being. Feel this note as it moves up and down within your being. Feel and notice that it has a rhythm of a moving, a sense of crescendo, and then decrescendo. Notice that that note is now diminishing and dying. Notice that you are giving it permission to die, and notice that what happens as soon as you give that one note permission to die, what happens within your being? Another note has taken its place, a note that incorporates all that that first note taught you, instructed you. This next note of your being is now rising, rising, moving through you as a beautiful crescendo, artfully creating within you an appreciation for all that you are, all that you have been, all that you've brought to the universe so far, all that you have been. It is crescendoing now, and now it is peaking, and now it is moving past peak. It is moving into its beautiful decrescendo. It is softening. Now it is moving back into the silence, and you are giving it permission to die. You are letting go of that note, and as you do, immediately the next note comes into the fullness of being this next note, carrying with it all of the rhythms and vibrations of the previous two notes. It is carrying with it everything you have learned so far. It has within it the deep pockets of memory. It is exulting in its glorious ability to move through you and as you. It is carrying with it a new cadence. It is creating new memories, new thought forms, new thoughts. The beautiful note is moving up and through you and in you and as you, and it is crescendoing and it is peaking. And now it is decrescendoing. It is moving on the other side of the mountain. Now you can barely hear it. And now your task, best beloved, is to let go and say, yes, I die to that note, and immediately comes up the next note of your being. As you sit with the knowing that the next note of your being is rising within you, my beloveds, this is what you are experiencing on an ongoing basis. Not only lifetime to lifetime, but breath to breath, moment to moment, thought to thought, physical body to physical body. This is the movement of your consciousness, of our consciousness. And just as I have instructed you in the way of bereavement, which is a way of compassionately aligning and feeling mercifully into all that is dying and lying down with every single dinosaur and saying, I'm here for you as you die. I'm here for the end of this age. I'm here for the end of this story. As you do that with all the mercy and kindness and compassion that you are, now comes the next wave. Now comes the next collective agreement. Now comes the next rejoicing. which is another way of moving as a collective, of collectively agreeing that the new life is being born right here, right now. The new narrative is starting right here, right now. The new age is starting right here, right now. You can see it. Rivers are breaking across the desert. A new thing springs forth. Lo, you are seeing it in your consciousness. You are, beloveds, not in a place of exile as you watch the former things pass away. You are in a place of inherited Eden, where you watch new life coming forward, where you see a planet rebirthing itself. And so feel, grieve, take it on as a collective bereavement for all that is passing away. And at the same time, inhale and rejoice with the new life coming forward. The dinosaurs are so happy, for they know that their time is coming back, that they are re-emerging as new species. New life forms are coming to your planet. Those are your friends, the dinosaurs. They are coming back. New life forms are coming. They are being discovered all over your planet. Your scientists talk of it daily. A new bird, a new worm, a new fish. Look at this, a new life form. We didn't know it existed. We found a new life form. Yes, indeed, beloveds. Those are the dinosaurs, and they are coming back. Nothing is lost forever, and everything is found again. Everything is rediscovered. Thank you for allowing me to share with you what I have learned and observed about the merciful process of dying, as well as the generous and compassionate and merciful process of being born again. Truly, we are dying. Truly, we are being born, all at the same time. Bless you. Thank you. And this is your group Souls Arena. And we are grateful for both teachers for coming in and speaking to us on the nature of death and dying and life and living, and offering to us beautiful images that we can carry with us over the next weeks and months and years. As you are beginning now to consider that it is time to move your consciousness back into your beloved physical body, this too is a kind of dying process. You begin to say goodbye to this meditation that you have been in. You begin to breathe life anew into your feet, into your hands, into the hairs on the top of your head. You begin to say to yourself, I have died and I have come back to life. I am Lazarus and I am reborn now. And as you do so, remember what a gift you are to this planet. You, Lazarus, constantly being reborn. What a beautiful signal you are to life on your planet, life beyond this planet. Your constancy, your willingness to engage in mercy is a beautiful, astonishing gift, and you are loved. Bless you, beloved ones. Now, gently, bring yourselves forward, and we bless you. Namaste.